Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for tuning in. Today's video is about reflecting on the almost 3 years of being a qualified CA. But before we get to that, let's just reflect on October as a month. Guys, October is a long month. Like, can this month just end? Like, it really needs to end. So today is the 29th of October and we are officially 2 hours behind South African time. Winter is upon us. I mean, October, it's been cold. Today at 5:30, it was dark already. I am so not looking forward to this winter. This is my third winter in UK. The first time around, I was definitely not prepared. It shocked me really. I mean, I was like, I knew it was going to be winter, but 3 months, 4 months in, I was like, now it's been cold. Can this just stop, you know? And then this year's winter, oh god, it was so bad. It was so bad. But at least I did win. At some point I got good vitamins for brain fog, and this time around I'm going home first, which is great. So at least I'm not gonna be here throughout the winter just like I did for this year's winter. So I'm going home end of November. Looking forward to that. So at least 1 month I'm going to spend in South Africa in summer. Then I'll come back. Maybe I believe that when I come back I will be recharged. I'll be ready to tackle winter once again. But coming back to October as a month, guys, October is so long. A lot happened for me this month. I wrote exams. I had about 6 modules. I wrote 4. The other one is not exam based. And then I missed one exam because I wasn't feeling well that week. The 6th module, I didn't write the report, the final report, which is annoying. I should have done that, but I kind of gave up, guys. No, I'm actually gonna fail this. I'm wasting my time. I did all the other reports, and the final one was just like, I need to choose between preparing for exams or writing this report that I know I'm not gonna give my all. Even if I do give my all, like, I still suck. So I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna fail this module. It's okay, and I'll focus on the other modules and write the exams. At least those exams went well, and I do believe that I passed. Yeah, and also there was some kind of like commotion around me going home. You guys, that almost sent me to the grave, but at least I know now that I'm going home. My tickets are booked, leave is approved. So I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to seeing my family, to seeing my babies. Guys, I've got 7 nieces and nephews. 2 of them were born last year, so I haven't met them physically. And it's a boy and a girl, and I've been doing a lot of shopping for my nieces and nephews. Oh, guys, I'm so excited. Every time I go shopping, like, I get the joy in my heart because I really can't wait to see them and how they're gonna be. I'm hoping that they're gonna be excited to see me. And to see all the things that I'm buying for them. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that, and seeing my sisters, my dad. My dad got married, and I'm going to be meeting my stepmother for the first time. I'm looking forward to meet a lot of people. So I've got 3 members of the family that I haven't met: my niece, my nephew, and the stepmom. Guys, my mother, my biological mom, passed away in 2015. So yeah, and then my dad got married this year. Anyway, today's video is not about that. It's about me reflecting on the 3 years, or almost 3 years, of being a qualified CA. Am I on the career path that I wanted when I qualified, or before I even qualified? Is UK even the place that I'm supposed to be at? It's been almost 3 years since I qualified, and in 2020 I received an offer to stay in audit as an audit senior. I declined that offer because I just didn't want to be in audit anymore. I had had enough of audit, honestly speaking, but also I wasn't really looking for a job. So I decided to pursue one of my business ideas. Before I get to that, see, for me, I've never really envisioned myself as somebody who is going to climb the corporate ladder and become some CFO or something, or be in audit until audit partner. I've never really had that vision. I've always thought that I would do my articles, get to RA, and then open up my own audit firm. That was the goal. But when I started doing my articles, then I realized that no, audit is definitely not something that I want to do. I mean, I had changed firms after firms, and then at some point I was like, this thing is the same no matter where you go, and I just don't like it. I didn't like it. I honestly did not. It didn't bring joy in my life. So that's why that business idea was no longer like a viable one, because I just didn't want to stay in audit any further. So when I qualified, or when I was about to qualify, I was confused in terms of what to do next, because I didn't want to become a financial manager or a financial accountant. I didn't want to be in audit. Then what was I supposed to do? So in 2021, I decided then to pursue my accounting practice, a business idea, right? So I started in December 2020, and I moved to Johannesburg in January. I set up myself. I was obviously working from home, but I didn't really have a good plan of how I was going to get clients. I honestly did not. And I can tell you now that most of the clients that I got that year were through the word of mouth. I did a lot of things to try and get clients. I was going to business seminars. I was going to events around Johannesburg. There weren't a lot because it was still the pandemic. So it was quite challenging to get clients and frustrating. Also, I needed to take care of myself financially, and I had medical bills to pay for because I needed my stomach bags. So it was really frustrating. I did get good clients that year that paid me like a significant amount of money. Some of them were like once off, others were like 2-3 months. And then I also applied for jobs that year, because at some point I thought, okay, maybe I can do this business while I have a job. You know, if I get a job that is flexible enough, that doesn't have restrictions in the contract, that allows me to do such things, then that's great. And hear me out, right? I signed 3 contracts at once. Not a good idea, but because I was really confused, and I genuinely didn't know what I would do, and I didn't know which job would be flexible. But it was not a smart decision to sign 3 contracts that were all starting in the same month. But let me tell you, they were not starting at the same time, but they all started in 1 month. I went to the first job. I lasted 2 days there. The reason I lasted 2 days is because I felt like they lied about the job. Went for training on the second day. I mean, we were bombarded by a number of files that we were going to do, and I felt like this is definitely not what I want to do. It's not going to align with my side hustle as well that I'm trying to build to a proper business. So 2 days, third time, I gave them their laptop. I was like, no, thank you, goodbye. The second job, I was a corporate accountant. I went there for 2 weeks. I'm so disappointed that I did that to that company, because they were really, really nice people. And when I met the CFO, she really liked me. I mean, she liked me from the day I walked in for the interview. She was just like I could tell that this was my job, you know, like I didn't, like the interview was sort of just, you know, getting to know me. She really liked me. And as when you meet somebody who sits there and be like, you know, I see myself in you, that was her to me. And I enjoyed the interview, but it was just not the job that I needed. It was not the right job for me. It was an accounting position. It used to bore me to death. I mean, 2 weeks, I was already bored. I was bored the end of the first week. I was just bored that this is the job I'm gonna do. Like, no. And also flexibility. And there wasn't much flexibility. We had to be in office on a daily basis, and that wasn't gonna work for me. So I ended up going for the third job. The third job I ended up going with was quite amazing. I enjoyed it. It was a contract job, by the way. The other ones were, the first one was a contract, the second was permanent, the third one was a contract. It was a contract job for 6 months, but that was okay with me, because anyway, my goal was never to stay, right? employed for long. So I was like, okay, 6 months contract, this pays good, this is flexible, they don't care where I work as long as I do the job. That works for me, you know. They don't care like what time I'm online, what time I'm offline, as long as I do the work, you know. That was amazing for me. So I did that job for until December, until I moved to the UK. However, at some point, before I accepted the UK offer, I had to kind of sit down and think once again, like, okay, I need to really plan this thing of me having my own businesses, because clearly I wasn't ready to start a business in 2021, because I didn't have a plan of how I was going to get clients. I didn't have a plan of how I was going to take care of myself financially. I lived on my savings for the first 3 months before I could get like a good client. So I needed to plan in terms of how was I going to do this. And then I thought, okay, I maybe needed to get a job that was going to help me to invest in something that I don't need to be fully present in it, but it kind of pays me some money so that I can be able to start up this business that I want, right? At that time, this business was this accounting practice. So it was either I get a job in South Africa that was going to be sort of permanent, since that one was a contract, and a contract that was ending in September, but they did extend it to December. Or I just take the UK offer, right? So I was like, okay, let me take the UK offer. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking pounds, sending to South Africa, rands, pound is stronger than the South African rand. So I'm going to be able to push what I want to push. That was my thinking back then. So I was like, okay, cool. I am going to take this job. But obviously the other part of this job was me going back to audit, and audit was not something that I wanted. So at my previous job, before I joined the UK firm, I was part of a data migration team. So they were changing systems, and I quite enjoyed that. I really enjoyed it, which is why I ended up moving to the data analytics team now. So I'm in innovation in data, but on the analytics side of things. And so I was just like, this is what I want to do. I really enjoyed it in the 6 months. I think I would enjoy it going forward. So I was like, okay, if I come to the UK, I'll get into audit, but I need to find a way for me to come out of audit and be part of this team. At that time, I knew that the firm that I work for now sort of had this department, but I wasn't sure like what exactly they do or how it's structured. So I get to the UK, I start in audit. Month 4, I'm like, I now know what this department does and I want to be there. Right, so I pursued that, and this year I moved to the innovation in data team, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm enjoying it so far. Right, so now going back to this question of do I feel like I'm in the right career path, or do I feel like I am working towards my goals? I do believe that I am working towards the goal that I had in mind when I left South Africa, which is to build something that's going to make me money without being involved too much. However, that is not going as quick as I would like to. And I did sort of hit a standstill, which obviously delayed me by an entire year. But it's okay. It doesn't mean that once my smaller things are up and running, I'm going to pack my bags and just leave the UK and go back to South Africa to start pursuing my accounting practice. Things have definitely changed, and one of the things that I really want to pursue more than the accounting practice is my skincare brand. I think I've done the necessary research. I'm sure I still need to do more in terms of the career path now. And as a qualified CA, so you can sort of tell from what I'm saying that my goals, or the things that I wanted to do with my qualification, are just not in the corporate space. They are basically things that I want to create for myself. In terms of a career path, I am content with my current role. I love it. and it's been a couple of months, so maybe I'll give you an update in a year's time, like how it's going. But I am pretty sure that this is where I want to be if I am still in this corporate space. I don't want to be in audit or financial manager. I pretty enjoy the data analytics and creating tools. I'm still going to be in the corporate world for longer, and this is exactly where I want to be. So quite happy with that. I mean, it's quite different from what I studied. It's not auditing, it's not accounting, it's not tax, it's not financial management, it's data analytics. Yes, I did register this course that I'm doing now, which is business information system, and it touches both the side of systems and finance, but I'm mostly interested on the system side. Yeah, so that's me in this almost 3 years. Now, guys, one thing that I want is freedom. Like, I want that financial freedom. I want that time, because there are a lot of things that I enjoy doing, and things that I would like to give my time to, which if I have a 9-to-5 job for the rest of my life, I don't believe I'll be able to do those things. Also, I'd like to create something for my family, something that I can leave behind for my children one day. I don't have kids now. I would like that, and that's something that I've always had in mind. Like, I've always imagined myself going that route. I grew up in a family where my mom was a teacher and my dad was an auditor. So my dad was an auditor, but he was not a qualified CA, and he retired early in life. I think his early 40s, to basically start running his businesses. Well, no, let me not say his businesses, guys, because my dad never had a company registered in his name. He just had smaller things, as Lalin, when you're trying to make money. That's what he did. He retired from his job and moved back as Lalini and started running smaller businesses as Lalini. They were mainly to survive, honestly, but that taught me something too. And my mom as well, she used to be so involved in those side hustles. She used to even start her own. So seeing that from my parents kind of planted the seed that this is what I would like to do. Also, when I used to listen to my dad talk about his job, I'm not gonna get into detail to that, because he didn't really like it, and he could have gotten back to the 9-to-5 world. So he had so many chances of going back, and he chose not to go back with 6 children. That's courage, and he still managed to send us all to school and all to university with that money that they were making from those side hustles and my mom's salary as a teacher. So I think my upbringing kind of planted that seed. And also, I'm surrounded by women that are very business minded, which are my sisters and some of my friends, which is amazing. I like that space because it allows me to talk about all the ideas that I have, and if I'm looking for advice, I can always get on a call and speak to my sisters or a friend, which is amazing. So the people around me, as much as they've got all these careers in place, or they are on the 9-to-5, they still want to create something for themselves which is aligned to what I want to do. So I kind of like that space as well that I have with my family and with friends. So yeah, that is me. Anyway, guys, that's it for today's video. I know today's video wasn't about any advice or tips on doing things, but I hope you enjoy it. Do subscribe and like. Stay blessed.